Welcome to the Reverberations podcast, where we explore the human experience and the journey of self-discovery. What's good, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Reverberations. In the last episode, we were tuning in to play and the power of play and how important it is to engage in play, to activate our inner fire, to stay dialed in, to be the essence of what we know to be true, to activate the synchronistic moments that continue to show up in our life. Now with play and with showing up and living on purpose and activating our inner fire, it does require a radical vulnerability to be able to lean in to a more sustainable and harmonious co-creative experience for all. And vulnerability has long been considered a weakness in humanity, in particular men. Conscious evolution and the initiation of a modern, integrated, and embodied man is inviting us to be the essence of who we are. There's a complete permissiveness with an open invitation. The question is, what are we holding back? What am I holding back? What is holding me back from being the embodied expression of what I know to be true, to be fully integrated mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally? Typically, what's holding us back is that first step, the one that most don't take. We know that it requires that initial step to move forward, to break the pattern, to break the cycle. We have to do something different to receive the results that we desire. Though we fear what we want most. It's so counterintuitive, though we fear what's on the other side. We fear our authentic self. Who might we be? I might lose my friends. Family might disown me. The job that I'm working at might no longer be what I desire. I might look different. I'll have to engage in new activities, and with that comes maybe a sense of anxiety. Though this is the version of ourself that we've been fighting for internally all our life, the one we incessantly think about, the one that we know to be true. It's that not so little voice that keeps creeping in from time to time saying, "What the fuck are you doing? Who have you become? When are you going to fucking step into your truth?" So yeah, it requires radical vulnerability and that complete permissiveness to be open to receive, to be the student once again, to be magnetized by our curiosity, to rise in love with life once again. We've abandoned our purpose, betrayed our passion, and forgotten who we really are due to our traumas, indoctrination, and conditioning of our life experiences. So I ask, what are you passionate about? What do you fantasize about? What do you desire? What do you long for? What does your soul speak with integrity? Are there things that you don't share out of fear that someone will judge you, think less of you, no longer love or accept you? What if we showed up as our authentic self, genuine, real, raw, stripped naked of our conditioning, fears, insecurities, belief systems, and judgments? What stories aren't we sharing? What truths aren't we expressing? What's stored in our body that's desiring, crying to come out? Might they be impacting our current relationships or overall state of well-being? Perhaps there's empowerment and acknowledgement, calling it out, naming it for what it is without attachment to it, without it being our identifier of where we identify with the trauma loop, that perpetual feedback loop that we continue and cycle. What if we were so open with our shame, our guilt, our trauma, our pain, our fears, our darkest moments, our fantasies, our wildness. Is there a liberation that is on the other side of repression? The freedom to truly be real. No holding back other than honorable, respectful behavior from a space of integrity and shared ethics. And this is where that beautiful word, discernment, comes in, where there's a conscious awareness so that it doesn't shift into neglect and disrespect, a pity party, a shit show, or diarrhea of the mouth. There's a safe space. As vulnerability partners with responsibility and accountability, the reality is that there are those that can weaponize our vulnerability. So that discernment allows us to hold that safe space as sacred, of where we empower our self, of where we reclaim our personal power. That's the embodiment piece, where there's a personal responsibility and accountability when we open up, of tuning into the timing of what we're vulnerable with, the availability and presence of others to be able to receive what we have to share, and where we are on our own journey with it. Are these responses to our journey of self-discovery or a reaction to something that triggered it? This is the great work of alchemy, of where we become so in tune with ourself and our experience with everything else. Because radical vulnerability extends beyond what we share and communicate. It's how we engage, it's how we interact, it's how we participate, it's how we listen. Again, it's being the perpetual student, remaining open, flexible, teachable, and a willingness to ask for support. This is how we can support a more harmonious and sustainable co-creative experience simply by being flexible, open, teachable, reachable, and willing to ask for that support. Because it's through our struggle that we grow closer. This is the human experience. As we've witnessed over and over again, through our challenges, there's a closer connection. And the invitation is, flip the script on that. When things are going well for others, let's celebrate others. Celebrate their successes, no matter how small they are. Because this vulnerability increases compassion as we peel back our belief systems, our layers, our insecurities. Executive coach Jeremy Lazarus says, each person contains their own meta-program of thinking. Meta-programs are like the filters placed in our mind's eye, which directs our focus. We each see the world through our particular lens. Therefore, approaching others with the view of a different perspective increases the possible connectivity with others. The important part there is to be adaptable, to be malleable, not so rigid through our own lens. We all have medicine for each other, every single one of us. When we really tune in to our soul's yes, our heartfelt desire, our most intimate and expansive vision, we embody our purpose. We express our passion. We are undoubtedly present with and in the moment, for the moment. Radical vulnerability leads to radical adaptability, as there is a shared risk and a reality that we've yet to experience. What's on the other side of risk? Perhaps the reward is beyond anything our functional mind can comprehend. And to quote Brené Brown, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. When we embrace the fire within, we activate radical vulnerability and burn away toxic shame, guilt, fear, indoctrinated belief systems that no longer serve our soul's yes and heartfelt desire, and our collective cohesiveness that supports a more sustainable and harmonious experience. We open faculties and potential that have laid dormant. We activate our inner fire. We embody our favorite self. the need to seek approval, feelings of not good enough, needing to fit in, to be liked, holding back from experiences, repressing feelings, desires, self-confidence issues, fear of success or failure, fear of being seen, rejection, slowly begins to ease with the practice of radical vulnerability. Something magical happens. We begin to really love ourselves, really love ourselves. Our true self shines, shows up. The curriculum is going to continue to provide opportunities for growth. Though as we practice leaning in, opening up with discernment, with presence, with purpose, the opportunity to experience a life that we've always known to be true is available for us. And the painful truth is that I was afraid to put myself out there and to really take full responsibility for the success or failure of pretty much everything. Doing this podcast is a test of radical vulnerability. Being of service to my clients is a test of radical vulnerability. The music that I create is a test of radical vulnerability. My voice is a test of radical vulnerability. Opening up to partnership is a test of radical vulnerability. Doing something different is a test of radical vulnerability. And that's what we're here for, is to experience a life that we know to be true, that is completely possible. It's up to us. Because something amazing happens when you lay it all out on the table. You stop caring so much about what anyone else thinks. All it takes is a little bit of practice, a little bit of patience, a little bit of trust, and being around others that are sharing in the journey of self-discovery, that provide a safe space to be able to communicate without staying stuck in the story, though utilizing it as a launch pad, as medicine, as fuel to ignite the inner fire and be the full expression of our soul's yes and our heartfelt desire. In order for us to experience our personal truth, our soul's yes, our heartfelt desire, and our most intimate and expansive vision, and to activate our inner fire, we must be vulnerable enough to allow it to happen, to give ourselves permission to allow it to happen. And remember that we are better together. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram. It's _John Stuart _. Also check out my website, amplifyyourlove.com. And guys, I have free 30-minute Ignite Your Fire sessions at embracethefirewithin.com. And if you feel that there's somebody out there that might find this valuable, pass it on. And the invitation is, let's express our passion, embody our purpose, and emanate presence. We are better together.
What do we do? What road do I take? Where we going? Where we headed?
Everywhere. Yeah.
2022.
Some say the road less traveled is a path I should have taken. Wonder some ever traveled in the shoes of the forsaken. Place my hands in prayer form about my head and remember 1974, 27th of November. Where do I go? What do I do? Who am I? Who are you? Where'd you go? What'd I do? I'm sorry. I love you. Long story short, save the drama for the stage. Flip the script, free the mind. Let's dance and stargaze. Visions of the future remain present in my psyche. Lived all my life dreaming about what I might be. Creatively I approach, swinging for the fence is still present in the moment. Now I'm diving to the portal that's been open, matching actions to the words that were spoken, cause they soaked and embody. Spiritually sound in my mind and my body. My life is my hobby and I'm the disc jockey. Yeah. Walking through the pathways, Yeah. My heart beats. They say it's a rite of passage to suffer for anointment. It's got me in the fields, cross-eyed and double-jointed. Read my words, place my hand on my heart, and I remember 2021, 31st of December. Present in the moment, here I am in the flesh, on the quest that I'm blessed with every breath to be a guest. Infinite and eternal, expanded to the space. Drop the mic, sit in silence. Spirits are not a resonant collective soul. Let go of what I might be so I could be whole and receive the blessings that were mentioned in the lesson passed down from the heavens by the one they behold. As a speaker of the truth in stories foretold, line of patterns in the message, cracking codes and coalescing better together as we step into our power and ascension. UBS 365, love amplified 1111.